know, Notorious B.I.G., Mr. Biggie Smalls is supposed to be getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. I didn't see the exact date yet, but Diddy posted on Twitter that Biggie was gonna be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's kind of like, you know, a subject in itself though. Like, and this has been brought up before when I remember when I think Jay-Z was inducted. And I don't remember if it was Rock and Roll or like the Writers Association or something of that degree. But do y'all think that hip hop should have its own like Hall of Fame?
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Should have been happened.
For sure. It always confuses me when like a hip hop artist gets like inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Right,
it's
like Rock and Roll Rare.
The hip hop Hall of Fame was just
right. I mean, even though music stems from us in itself anyway, which is you know, they started rock and roll, but we know what the stigma of it is.
Right.
It's like that's a white, you know.
Right. Unfortunately. I mean, I think it's still not to be like super militant, but it just comes back to the fact it's like, why are we excited that white people are acknowledging our greatness? Like,
right.
That's just what it stems back to. Like, you know, shout out to them. I don't know if you like get like an extra, if his family start getting an extra check or something like that, because that'd be
right.
dope.
Because what are the perks?
Right. But outside of that,
I mean, I guess his estate would, I guess, raise in value.
Okay.
From that in itself.
That's beautiful.
I mean, if there was a hip hop Hall of Fame, like let's be real, like I would kind of have a question if Biggie makes that. I'm gonna explain why though.
Are you a Tupac like more Tupac?
I mean, I am a huge Tupac fan, but it don't really have as much to do with that. What it is, and I would put Biggie in the Hall of Fame, but I don't think it was like how, I don't know if you guys know how like basketball and baseball and football work. Like you got first ballot, and if you don't make first ballot, at some point you might get voted in based on whatever year. You can get voted in 2 years from now. You can get voted in 30 years from now. That's how usually it works. I don't think Biggie would be like first ballot because he only had two albums, and that's really my biggest issue. Like I don't think he gave us enough body of work. Now it was damn great body of work that he gave us thus far, but I don't know. I didn't see enough. Like, cause even like when people bring up like they top 10 lists or like, you know, I mean, if you talking like top 10 lyricists, like absolutely, I think he's in that conversation. But top 10 rapper or hip hop artist, it's like it's too many people who have a full body of work who are just as talented. You know?
I can't not give it to him. Like I feel like, and maybe just because I've been drinking that Kool-Aid pretty much my whole life, but as far as like a lyricist, boom, for sure. Top, like not even just like a regular lyricist. He's like a top.
Yeah, you made an impact where you changed. Yeah,
top,
for sure.
Top tier level lyricist. As far as like songs, like he was able to do both, which I feel like a lot of, especially rappers back then, it's either you like hella underground and street, or you coming with the like, you know, the pop songs or whatever. He did both flawlessly, and it was believable.
With the help of Diddy.
But that, yeah, for sure. Diddy put that sauce on it like a hell.
Sure.
Like he put sauce on it like a mug. But he did his thing, and like he showed versatility, came with the songs. His first album, classic, like unanimously considered a classic.
I mean, both of them.
Yeah, second album unanimously a classic, but second album was a double disc, and just the overall impact. Probably because of his death, probably made him, you know, more
as he typically does with artists, like.
For sure. But I still feel like it's all well deserved because the path that he was on as far as like an artist, it's like
but it's like if there's I mean I don't really want to use the basketball as an example because our Hall of Fame is kind of soft, but like for baseball and football for sure they're a lot more tough, and like if you on your way to greatness but then you have like some huge injury that derails your career, it's like, yeah, we speak of what would have been, you might get your 30 for 30 or whatever, but no, we can't put you in there because you didn't do enough.
I think cultural impact is like probably like not just his cultural impact on hip hop and like the legacy that he left, because you gotta see he gave us Lil Kim too, like on top of that. Right. So he, within the short amount of time that he was here doing his thing, he did a lot, and he did it like at the highest level, right. Like this decisively above and beyond everybody else at the time. Like I love Tupac for sure, but
you said above and beyond everybody else.
Bro,
you about to start something, bro. What? Hold up, bro. You ain't about to just slide past that.
Above and beyond, I'm telling you.
You need to elaborate on that.
What I mean is, lyrically on some street stuff.
I don't even think he was the nicest lyricist at that time, though. Nas was out at that time.
I mean, but hey,
bro, I'm ready for all the smoke, bro. I'm ready for all the smoke.
There's differences. But ultimately, I think I just seen a meme or something the other day, and it was like Tupac was a better artist. Biggie was a better lyricist.
Right.
I felt that on a strong level because I felt like
start that right
no, but listen, like Tupac had the package. He had the he had the star package.
Right.
He could act. He can rap. He had the image.
Right.
With the movies, he had the impact on the community. Like he had it all.
Right.
Biggie was mainly for his lyricism. Like I mean, I can't say that I'm well versed on Biggie or Tupac and what they did as far as accolades through and through. Mm-hmm. However, it seems like Tupac was a lot more versatile than Biggie was.
Musically, yeah, I would say so.
Sure.
And he was he had, I think the biggest thing is he had like a message behind his music versus Biggie was just like a dope rapper.
Right.
But and he was talking about more street shit, more violent shit. I mean, granted, he was more aggressive with the shit. Tupac had his moments, but ultimately he had the whole piece with the community.
He'll give you Bear Mama.
He'll have the vulnerability. He'll have it all. So it's like the versatility wise, I can see.
But Pac really didn't get on like that rah super gangster stuff until
like his last album.
Right.
That was. I'm not talking about his personal life. I'm talking about like musically when he came out here.
Right. You're talking about when he got with Death Row.
Yeah, that was when because a lot of that's honestly why a lot of East Coast niggas don't really mess with Pac. Like if you look at like the these radio stations and all that out there, that's the reason why they throw so much shade because they'll say like. They liked him more when he had like more of a message, and when not that his message went anywhere, but it kind of got diluted within all his other stuff when he had Snoop and Daz and Lady of Rage and all of them like working.
Also, one thing I gotta say about Biggie is that when he came out, the focus was on like the West Coast big time.
Right.
So when he came out, like he basically brought like that East Coast. He brought the attention back to the East Coast.
Right.
So that's another reason why he's like considered, in my opinion, Hall of Fame worthy.
Because they salty over there. Because
this
is what happened.
He came back and took like with the West Coast. Then we're not known for being super lyrical, but we got like that. We got the groove for sure.
Right. Well, we brought a different element to hip hop that they didn't have, which, how good it was or not is left to be debated.
It was fantastic.
But obviously they will. Because they don't look at it like that, is what I'm saying. Like,
you talking about on the East?
Yeah, on the East Coast.
Yeah,
that's why they didn't really mess with our music like that, which is why like the East and West went to the level of win.
Music, but for sure they were hating on this big time.
I mean, if you wasn't Snoop and Jerry, they wasn't.
That's true.
They wasn't really like.
Music, but my point is, and I'm just trying to build a case for Biggie to be in the Hall of Fame.
Well, to be fair, I said I would put him in there. I said I don't think he would be first ballot.
First ballot Hall of Fame. You got the lyricism, boom. You got the versatility and the fact that he could go street, he could go pop without it being corny. He has the appeal for him to be, incredibly unattractive.
Biggie went pop.
No, yeah, but like, hell yeah, pop. What's that shit? For all the ladies in the place with a style and grace, allow me to live the ways with dishes in your wishes.
Now, remember when you call me Big Pop? That's pop. That's for sure pop. It's hip hop, but it's poppy hip hop.
That's like,
especially at
that. It sounds like some G-Funk type.
Nah, that's pop. Yeah, no, G-Funk is pop. I don't care what nobody say.
Oh,
G-Funk,
right.
Dr. Dre, all that is pop. Like G-Funk is pop music.
You basically mean radio.
Yeah,
okay.
radio stuff. Radio
all
stuff.
right.
Like not like I figure like the locks is.
I just don't like that term, but unless they really,
Well,
because there's rappers that really do go pop.
Yeah,
I mean, you can say it's a derivative of pop. I mean, that's maybe.
There you go. We can call it that, but it was
Yeah,
like more radio friendly, where it's
Absolutely.
like we listening to it more so for like the hood
Trendy.
and
Right.
like the
And,
the beat
yeah.
and stuff like that.
Functions.
Not necessarily like this nigga's spitting like
Right.
something like that, but he could give you both. And then he figured out how to have like that image, that persona, where it's like it worked for him. Cause like looking at him, he not the most attractive dude. He not there's nothing really about him that really stand out other than like he probably
Everybody attracted when they got money. In
but what I'm saying is he had the swag to back it up. You could give like a dude with no charisma, all the money, all the clothes and everything, and he's still gonna be looking like a corny nigga. Biggie put it all together. He got his team together.
Right.
He put on another artist that deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, which is Lil' Kim.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a big point you brought up. Like, I think him giving us Kim is a big one because of the impact that Kim had on the future generation.
I won't say he gave us Cameron, but before he died, he wanted to sign Cameron too. So
right.
had he, I ain't gonna say
I do know about that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then on top of all that, he put his coast on his back and brought it back to the center stage.
Right.
So I give him, and he did it all in a short amount of time.
Okay.
So that's why I give him that first ballad thing, because it's like he was just coming with it, like just every direction. It's like he covered all bases.
But if you on your way to being the GOAT, and then you tear your ACL in your third year, and it's like a career-ending ACL injury,
Bo Jackson.
you can't just say he better than Michael Jordan, like. And you was on your way, but you didn't complete your task.
That's like the D Rose thing, because like D Rose came out
right.
The only thing D Rose was lacking was a championship. Had he won a championship, he would have you couldn't tell me nothing.
Well, I mean, it's not too late for him to get one.
But I mean, I'm talking about like that
him,
first run with Chicago when he first came out. It was just
well, he didn't. Well, that's the thing though. Like that's a perfect analogy because he didn't have that much time. I think his third year is when he got that MVP, and then the following year is when the NBA lockout happened, and then he tore his ACL.
Yeah.
So, and he hasn't really. I mean, he's been solid, but he hasn't really had been able to beat out the roles of old because he's from the same generation as like the Stephs and Russells, and they still dynamic right now. So clearly he would have been on par with them. But back to Big, like I don't think it's fair to put him in that caliber. I definitely don't think he's the greatest rapper ever because that was what Diddy said in a tweet. Like, congrats to the greatest rapper ever.
I feel like Jay-Z the best rapper, the greatest rapper ever.
And
I feel like that's all subjective, depending on what you're looking for in a rapper.
Speaking, Jay-Z's the best rapper.
I think he's the most decorated.
Oh man, we about to change it.
Here's the thing, like, because it does kind of correlate to what we're talking about. Because I think with people can have their personal opinions of who they think the greatest is. I take everything into consideration, and when it comes to Jay-Z, it's kind of hard to argue him being the greatest. I actually give Pac that edge because of who he was outside of like just music. Like with Ali, they call him the greatest not just because of him being in the ring, but the fight that he took also outside of it. And I think they put him in that stratosphere because of that. Jay-Z doesn't really have that behind him as much as Pac did. He hasn't really been as vocal. He actually has more questionable things regarding our community.
I'm just talking about purely for like the hip hop music. I look because like Tupac probably my favorite. It's between him and Kanye. Like who's my favorite like persona.
Okay.
But as far as like just within the realm of like hip hop, I don't know what's the word like. attributes. I feel like Jay-Z and I'm not like Jay-Z's not even my favorite hip hop artist, but like I feel like if I had to say who's the best, like objectively, if we had like a category,
looking at everything,
I
wouldn't. It's hard to argue that though because of his, like you said, the accolades, the accomplishments, his lyrical ability. Even though a lot of that is questionable, it's a whole nother topic. But like a lot of that spit he was spitting was big, like. Okay. He had a lot of lines that he was kind of taking credit for. It was like, nigga. And it's not like just no paying homage type shit. It's like, no, nigga, that's big, bro. And some of the, like, you know, like probably more memorable lines you could think of from Jay was something that, you know, that Big said. Like, even down to the, when the Remy's in your system, ain't no telling the other more. You know what I mean? Like, and that's probably that was probably Jay's, like, turning point of being, like, a household name, like superstar. So I get what you're saying as far as Big's impact that he had, which, you know, some of it probably was due to him, his passing, you know, in an untimely fashion. But I think he's one of those people to where it's like, yeah, maybe one day roll him in there, but I wouldn't say like you just solidified first ballot, because I just felt like it was cut too short. And that's also the reason why I don't have him over Pac, because it was too short. Like, Pac was clear-cut superstar, like, you know what I'm saying, when it was his time. You know, I mean, even I think the Juice movie was around the same time as Tupacalypse.
Well, now we're talking about, like, star power, or we talking about, like, what we talking about?
Well, I'm saying, like, as far as you doing enough, like, I mean that does come into place, because you said impact,
though, like you
know,
said.
Like, I mean cultural.
Because if you look at rappers being in like movies and TV shows and stuff, Pac and I think Cube and like Onyx, I think were like the first of that.
Cause I ain't that group with you. I love Tupac, but it's hard for me to like go through, like, to sit down and listen to a full Tupac album.
Hey, get the hell out. Me Against the World, bro, that was fire, hard, top to bottom, no skips, bro. You are tripping. This thing is tripping.
I'm going through it.